4 fastest and cheapest Madden 20 Ultimate Team coins. Make sure you guys go check out my sponsor, EasyMut.com. Use code VENM at checkout for 5% off. Yo, what's up, everybody? It's VENM here, back in the video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys a dominant play that you guys will see pro players use, and it is just so great. It's such a great play stock, but there's going to be a ton of adjustments, ton of different route combos I'm going to show you guys to maximize the play. Now, the play is going to be dagger out of tray wide flex. This is going to be a very good play. You guys see we have the drag, we have a crosser, we have a streak, and then we have a deep in route. Now, like I said, I'm going to be showing you guys way more hot routes and way more things. And first of all, I want to show you guys a quick little formation sub out of the tray wide flex, just to get it. You guys probably see people use receivers right here, and the way you do that is just simply go to either the tight end wideout or the tight end slot package. Either one is fine. I usually just do tight end wideout, and then what I go ahead and do, head into my formations, and then I'm just going to go ahead, click on Hollister, and then we'll sub Josh Gordon in there. So boom, now we have DK Metcalf at tight end. We get way more speed, way more athleticism, and it's just going to be way better for the formation. So I'm just going to go ahead, come out in our dagger play right here, and I'll try to show you guys setups to be cover 2, cover 3, man coverage, and I'll show you guys how to like block 7 people as well. Let's just start out in the classic cover 2. Now, you can just come out here, run the play stock, and have success, honestly. You boom. If you see the drag, you can go ahead and hit that. You guys see, you'll take your 5 yards. I mean, we're not ultimately trying to hit the drag route, but it's definitely still an option. Now, usually I like to just look to the drag. If it's like a heavy set, then you'll go ahead and hit it. But what we're really trying to hit is either the crossing route or that deep in route, and it's really going to depend on who your opponent is using. If they do user that crosser all the way to the other side, make sure that you hit that in route. But a lot of times your opponent might user the crosser, and then they'll see the in route, they might follow that in route, and then they'll go ahead and end up lurking you if you throw it too late. Just make sure you throw it immediately, or you can just sort of look back and then hit that crosser late. Now, you guys see the crosser is a little bit close. Right off the bat, a simple setup you can do is just to put your tight end on a zig route. Obviously, I'm calling it our tight end, but we're using Metcalf here, so I guess your receiver, just put this tight end on this zig route. This is basically just going to pull down the cloud flat. It's going to create a high-low read between the zig and the crosser. If he does play super over the top, then the zig might be open, cases like cover 3, but you guys see, look how open Tyler Lockett's getting on this play. It's insane that he is just able to get that much separation all based off one hot route. And even if, let's say, somehow the right side of the field is clamped up, let's say he just puts like a soft squat there, maybe double flats, whatever the case might be, you can always go ahead and snap, throw to the seam if it is open. Now, my receiver just got bumped, so I threw a pick, but that was unfortunate. A lot of times your receivers don't get bumped as much as that they did right there. I might actually just respot the ball here. I don't really want to be on the wide side. You don't necessarily have to be on any hash for this. I kind of like a little bit more spread with this, but a lot of times people are like running it on the short side. Now, you don't have to keep this streak to in route combo. You can do a lot of things. We have our one high-low read on this right side of the field with the zig and the crosser, but another one that you can go ahead and go to is just classic, put a zig on our slot receiver and then a curl or a comeback. I prefer the curl. It's just a little bit cleaner, a little bit easier to throw. And then you're going to go ahead, motion your slot receiver all the way in. You can roll out. You guys see the zig's going to get wide open. You can just throw that and attack the flats really well. Now, these curl flats are always going to sort of contain the cloud flats. Cloud flats are great to cover the curl routes if you didn't know that, which is why it's super easy to hit any receiver on like a zig route or even an out route. I could just put Y on an out route. And if I wanted to really attack the left side of the field and I'm not too worried about the right side, I might even just put A on a streak. He's a good clear out. It'll open up the crosser a little bit. And you could still go ahead and put X on this curl route. You could still motion David Moore in, roll out here, and you guys see Y is going to get wide open. Got a bad racket catch animation, but we're still able to pick up 7 yards. So that's not really a worry to us. Now, another setup that is pretty good to attack a cover 2 is just to put a hitch on the field with A right here, and then you can go ahead sort of motion that out if you wanted. Now, a lot of times they'll catch up on that, but even this hitch from the slot, a lot of times we'll bait down this cloud flat, and it's really going to open up your crosser against the cover 2 defense. So again, I'm going to Go ahead, roll out. Look at A. He's just pulling down that cloud flat so much. Look how open Tyler Lockett gets. The cloud flat's basically playing a hard flat assignment when you consider how badly it catches on to that hitch route, and it's really just going to make your life so much easier. Now, I kind of want to show you guys a max protect setup that I like to run right here. So what you're going to go ahead and do, obviously you're going to block your running back. I've been blocking my running back out of every setup that I've shown you guys. I'm not sure if I mentioned that already, but that is definitely something you want to do. You don't want to leave them on sort of that check release route. Anyways, basic setup is just put A on a streak and then go ahead put X on a drag. Now when I'm max protecting, I like to motion the slot receiver because it sort of makes it look like an inside zone. When I run inside zone out of this formation, I'm always going to go ahead and do that. Now since I actually left the mid read, he does a pretty good job of covering it. Nobody uses mid-read zones. That's just me forgetting to put my middle linebacker in the middle third. But the mid-read actually do defend crossers pretty well if you didn't know that. Nobody's really going to use that. Nobody knows that. So again, the setup's just going to be like putting A on a streak, X on a drag. You can go ahead, motion David Moore over, and just snap the ball right about there. You guys see I'm actually double teaming that receiver every time. But look how open that is. We have the drag to pull down the cloud flat, and then we have the clear out to keep that deep half on that side of the field just completely covered. This is again one of my favorite route combos, especially in a Send 7 meta. They're gonna have to pick and choose who they want to defend in this drag to crosser, or even if he is using that deep half. A lot of times when people blitz 7 people, as I get glitched in the pocket, what is happening? But again, you see that mid read actually covering it. Let's go ahead, switch to a cover 3 defense. Now cover 3, it's pretty different than this cover 2. It's actually going to be a lot of the same stuff. Again, my go-to setup is just putting A on a zig and go ahead, snap the ball. Like I said, you could leave him on the drag, but I like rolling out to the right. And you guys see that hook curl actually did defend our crosser, but I would have had X probably wide open. I wasn't even looking though. But again, I forgot to audible to a cover 3 here, but just coming out, running it stock, the drag's going to get open a ton of times. Accidentally spun the right way, but you guys see there's a lot to take in the flats out of this formation because of how spread out it is. So let's just audible to our cover 3 here. And especially against cover 3, this curl route should be getting very open in our setup. Something like this is a setup I like to go to. It just maximizes the play. A lot of times people are worried about routes coming from that side of the field, and you guys see hitch, wide out, or not hitch, this zig. You kind of want to hit in motion. Don't do what I just did and throw it after they set. Again, you could go ahead and still leave that deep in. You could just go ahead, put Y on a hitch here, and then maybe just put A on a streak. You could also put him on that zig, something like this. You really just want to mix it up every time. Now there's obviously some other plays out of the formation that you could do to mix it up, but just a simple setup like this. We have 2 sort of high-low reads, you kind of want to say. I feel like that hitch to deep in route combo is basically a high-low read, but you guys see it's kind of difficult for me to show off this smart routed in route because I'm not having anybody use the field. Again, I think that was accidentally cover 2, but like I said, difficult for me to show that. I want to show you guys sort of a unique setup that I haven't really seen too many people use out of this play. It's basically just going to be put A on a streak, and then I'm going to put Y on a drag and X on a slant. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm actually going to motion Josh Gordon over all the way to the right side of the field. You could run this vice versa with X on a drag and Y on a slant, and then I'm going to wait till he gets over there, motion snap him. You guys see a lot of times you could just go ahead low ball X if he's open. Maybe he's blitzing a lot of people, but there's a ton of stuff that you can do out of this play. Now unfortunately there's not really any cover 3 beaters or things of that nature out of this formation. I feel like if you tried, you could maybe hit B on a streak or something, or a fade, but it's just not that big of a play. There's not really too many things you could do in that situation. So again, setup that I like to go to is even motioning Metcalf over inside, and then maybe putting him in a delay fade. This could be another situation where you're able to block 7, and you can still basically just run this setup, just basically stock. You're telling his user to pick between those routes, and you still have this delay fade in case he actually does go ahead and somehow defend both of them. Let's say he just played coverage over the top and then he defends that in route. You have the ultimate bailout, but you can only unfortunately put them on that route unless if you motion it in, which can be a tell, but I think it is very worth it, and it's going to be very difficult for your opponent to defend. You guys see, you can still obviously hit B. For some reason, Russell Wilson just overthrows that, but if they do go to man coverage, which I've seen a lot of people do, let's just run this man blitz. You guys will see they're going to have to pick the crosser, the in route. It's going to be very difficult for them to choose. The crosser should destroy man coverage. And since I am sending like 6 or 7 here, I'm going to go ahead and max protect with David Moore. You guys see I'm just motioning him over, snapping it. Look how open X is. B would have been open if I lowballed that as well. So overall, just a great little play right there. Again, let's send our blitz here. And you guys will see I'm blocking RB, and then I'm just putting A on a streak route. You could still leave A on this zig route because that actually does a great job against man coverage sometimes. It really does depend though. Usually it does get separation there. It doesn't though. And X just wide open. For some reason that was registered as cross body. I didn't think so, but you guys can tell he was open. And that was just a bad throw by myself. But I actually kind of want to show you guys a quick little dot. I'll show you guys like really quickly here. It's going to be out of the same formation. Also, I'm not sure if I mentioned this, I am in Packers playbook. There's Trey White Flex in a ton of different playbooks, keep that in mind, but a little dot to beat cover 2 is just going to be put A on a hitch, and then what I like to do is sort of put Y on a hitch as well, something like this, and you guys see B is just going to get wide open, or not. We get sacked, but you guys saw B wide open. If he doesn't use that, you could hit maybe Y or X on those routes again. A on a hitch. A lot of times the table route could actually get open as well. Here though, B is wide open in between that gap. Hitch route pulls down the zone. Boom, little setup. So that's going to go ahead and do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you leave a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well for some more Madden 20 content in the future. And follow me on Twitter, link in the description. Peace, I'm out of here.